Most people think that after a breakup, time magically heals everything. But what if I told you that's one of the biggest lies out there? Yeah, it's not time that heals. It's the choices you make in the meantime. What most people don't realize is that in the desperation to ease the pain, we end up making silent mistakes that slow down a lot. Our emotional recovery. Maybe you've already made some of these mistakes without even noticing. Sending too many messages, stalking social media, clinging to the hope that one day everything will go back to normal. The problem is that when we get caught up in these behaviors, our heart doesn't heal. It sinks. Deep down, it's not the absence of the other person that hurts. It's the trap we create inside ourselves. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. Those slip-ups that seem small, but have the power to trap your emotional life for years. Spotting these mistakes is like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly you see all the obstacles that were hiding all along. The question is, are you ready to face that truth without any masks? Chapter 1. Believing you can't be happy without your ex? It's crazy how, when a relationship ends, people swear up and down that happiness left with the other person. It's like your heart signed a lifelong contract where only that partner could unlock joy. That feeling is so strong that you really believe life can't go on without them. But what most antis see is that this thought is really just a way of trying to make something last that's already gone. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. This belief that you can be happy without your ex comes with a dangerous side effect. Your self-esteem takes a nosedive. Suddenly you feel like a loser, as if you've lost life's grand prize. And that's when toxic behaviors start to creep in. Endless messages, weak excuses to call, even the classic "I forgot my charger at your place" just to get a connection. Deep down, it's not love. It's fear of facing reality. And that fear leads to actions that smother, push away, and even embarrass the person doing them. Anyone who's been there knows how tempting it is to hold on to that idea. I've seen strong people crumble emotionally just because they couldn't handle the void. God. But here's the truth. Nobody tells you yes. You can be happy without that person. You just have to admit it's over. And admitting the end takes courage. And maybe that's exactly where the next big emotional trap sneaks in. Chapter 2. Chasing quick fixes and manipulation when heartbreak hits hard. It's natural to look for shortcuts. The internet is full of them. Gurus promising the secret formula to get your ex back. Cold strategies, ready-made texts to make them miss you. Even courses that claim you'll become a high-value person. It all seems tempting when your heart is in pieces. But here's the truth. None of it works long-term. These are illusions disguised as solutions, and they eat away at your dignity over time. The problem with these magical solutions is that they turn love into a manipulation game. I've heard crazy stories of people being told to use their own kids as emotional leverage to get someone back. That might make the ex return for guilt or pressure, but what kind of relationship can survive on such a shaky foundation? It's like building a house on quicksand. Sooner or later, it collapses. Real love doesn't grow on manipulation. And maybe the cruelest part is realizing that in chasing these shortcuts, people forget their own worth. Instead of rebuilding themselves, they start living for strategies to trap someone who's already chosen to leave. I've seen good-hearted people get lost in this maze, swapping authenticity for cheap tricks. And when dignity is on the line, the cost is high. But those who fall for these illusions often stumble into an even more dangerous lie. Leaving time alone heals everything. There's a popular saying that gets thrown around like gospel. Time heals everything. It sounds comforting, almost poetic, but it's deeply misleading. Time by itself does nothing. It just ticks away, indifferent to our pain. What actually heals is how we choose to deal with the feelings that arise after a breakup. Without processing them, time is just an empty calendar marked by longing. Grief needs direction. Loneliness, for example, can become a chance for self-discovery. Maybe write in a journal, pick up old hobbies, or even take a solo trip. Anger can be channeled into physical activity. Sports, long walks, martial arts. Each emotion needs its own outlet. Ignoring that and expecting time to fix things is like having your house on fire and waiting for rain to put it out. Here's a key distinction. Accepting isn't the same as submitting. Someone who loses a great love might never fully accept it, but they can submit to reality and stop fighting the obvious. It's tough, but liberating. Fighting life is a battle you'll always lose. And once that clicks, many of the chains holding your heart are revealed. Chapter 4. Anchoring yourself in the past. Few things hurt more than someone trying to relive a relationship that's long gone. Clinging to memories is a trap. Stalking social media, rereading old messages, keeping relics of the past, all of it just deepens the wound. It's like picking at a scab, hoping it will heal itself. The more you anchor yourself in the past, the harder it becomes to see any future. Some people take it even further, orchestrating chance encounters, going to the same coffee shop, walking past the street your ex frequents, trying to bump into them. It seems harmless, but it keeps your soul stuck in an illusion. It's like spinning in circles inside a maze you built yourself. Anyone who's been there knows how exhausting it is to live trapped in that loop. The heaviest part, though, is the self-blame. The endless what-ifs. What if I had done things differently? What if I had given more attention? That inner dialogue is pure poison. The real help comes from acknowledging your actual mistakes and learning from them. Turn regret into lessons. Because if the past can't be changed, the present still can. And once that hits, people often face something they've been avoiding. Chapter 5. Trying to handle everything alone. There's a quiet myth that you have to carry pain alone. Many think that crying in secret or suffering in silence is a sign of strength. In reality, it only makes the emptiness grow. Humans weren't made to cross emotional deserts solo. Sharing the weight with someone you trust doesn't show weakness. It shows courage. It's admitting that you're human enough to not handle it all by yourself. And this doesn't just mean therapy, although that's life-changing. It can also be a heart-to-heart with a friend who listens without judgment. A family dinner that brings comfort or faith in a community that uplifts you. These small support systems are emotional crutches, and there is no shame in leaning on them when your soul can stand alone. The mistake is thinking that asking for help diminishes your pain. I've seen people rebuild themselves just by having the courage to say, I can't do this alone. That's when the real miracle begins. When silence breaks and vulnerability meets an understanding voice. The journey will never be easy, but it becomes a lot less rough when there are hands ready to lift you. And in that surrender, the chance to start over emerges, rewriting chapters that once seemed final. Conclusion: now that you know the most common mistakes people make after a breakup, the big question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep falling into the same traps, or will you have the courage to flip the script and give yourself a new chance? No one rebuilds overnight, but every conscious choice is a step toward emotional freedom. Think about it. How many times have you sabotaged yourself by chasing easy fixes, dwelling in the past, or trying to carry a burden alone? How long will you let these patterns steal your peace? The power to change is in your hands, but you have to use it. So here's a straight-up question. What's the next move you're going to make for yourself? If this content resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Here, you'll find more insights, challenges, and practical steps to transform your emotional life. Remember, when you change from the inside, the world around you inevitably changes too.